So ages ago I made a video addressing Bewildered Ape and his whole "is Thunderfoot's dad really dead" issue. And the contents of the video basically came down to, I understand what you're saying, but it's kind of douchey to say and maybe you shouldn't say it. And it was the only video that I've ever done to break 1,000 views, and a lot of the comments were incredibly hostile, saying that I was mocking Thunderfoot's dad, which I wasn't. Weirdly enough, I was saying that while I understand the point behind the video, I don't really approve of it or anything. And that I shouldn't be agreeing with people like Bewildered Ape and Jenny McDermott, which, if you actually paid attention to the video, I didn't. I said they shouldn't be doing this stuff. Wow. And, I mean, this is the sort of thing that I miss on YouTube, because there were actually points where I was capable of disagreeing with somebody without them throwing a massive hissy fit or declaring me an anti-feminist or saying that I had, joined the other side. But I bring this up specifically because of a more recent video, because I talked about Doctor Who and Anita Sarkeesian. I'm sorry, I know the words Anita and Sarkeesian put together are incredibly traumatic for a good portion of YouTube, but try and soldier on for a moment, because this is important. I had basically 2 points with the video. The first was that people had grossly overreacted to what she had said, and the second was that I found what she had said to be rather curious, because she was talking about Doctor Who, a show which had become incredibly diverse over the years, in terms of just because there's a female doctor doesn't mean diversity issues are solved, which to some extent I suppose I technically agree with, but I think the thrust was aimed incorrectly here. Recently I got a couple of comments when commenting on somebody else's channel about beliefs that I don't hold, and specifically about, I think it was video games making you murderers or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember at this point. I can't find them because the user deleted the argument. Is right. I'm not complaining. But the reason that he was able to make that assertion is because he used my video on Doctor Who as an example of how I agreed with Anita Sarkeesian, and therefore I must agree with everything she has to say, which is curious because in the video I didn't even agree with what she said here. I'm pretty sure they didn't even read the description, because it says the following. It seems odd to make the casting of a female doctor into a referendum on diversity in a show that's taken more steps than most of its peers to be more diverse. Since 2005, the revived Doctor Who has taken significant steps in casting a more diverse roster. With Jodie Whittaker as the new Doctor, even the main character is no longer safe, which I suppose maybe they got traumatized by that last bit. I don't know. Funny story, when I was recording that, my auto-scroll wouldn't scroll down, so I ended up getting thrown while trying to read the description. That was not at all embarrassing. But, yeah, the major thrust of this is simply that this video is not one that agrees with Anita Sarkeesian. The description doesn't agree with Anita Sarkeesian, and yet somehow it was used as evidence that I agree with Anita Sarkeesian, not only here, but in every sense, 100% of the time, although I don't actually think she's ever said that video games directly turn people into serial killers, or whatever the claim was. The main takeaway I get from this is that simply the act of mentioning somebody is enough to imply that you agree with them, in which case Sargon of Akkad, Matt Dillahunty, Aaron Raw, Black Pigeon Speaks, H-Bomber Guy, Shoe on Head, The Armored Skeptic, so work that one out for yourselves. Thanks for listening. Amaranth, out.